Hello everyone, today we're going to look at fractional exponents. So if we have x to the p over r, then that's equal to the rth root of x to the p. So the fraction, we have the numerator and the denominator. The numerator of the exponent is the exponent in radical form, and the denominator is the root. So we're going to do some examples of converting between both forms. So first we're going to convert from exponential to radical. So we have 3 to the 4/3. So when we change that, the 3 is going to be the root because it's the denominator. The 4 will be the power. And we have the cubed root of 3 to the 4th. And we can simplify this a little bit further. It's the cubed root of 81. So 3 to the 4th is 81. Y to the 1/2. So remember the 1 is going to be the power. So we'd end up with y to the 1. However, we don't ever write that. It's just y. And the square means, the 2, in the denominator means we're going to square root it. And again, the square root, we don't actually write the 2. So y to the 1/2 is just the square root of y. But remember, this is the second root of y to the 1. But both of those numbers we don't write. W to the -2/5. So here our numerator is 2, so we're going to have y squared. The denominator is 5, so we're going to have the 5th root. But remember, the negative exponent means that we're going to flip it or take the reciprocal. So we're going to end up with 1 over the 5th root of w squared. This is the same thing as the 5th root of 1 over w squared. The 5th root of 1, however, is 1, so I can take that out of the 5th root. So I can put the fraction inside of the root or put the root inside of the fraction, and because it's a 1, it's not going to make a difference. And then 4 to the 9/2. That's going to be, again, the square root. There is an invisible 2 there, but again, we don't actually write it. And then to the square root of 4 to the 9th. And again, if I wanted, I could simplify this. It would be the square root of 262,144. Okay. Now let's go the reverse way. Go from radical to exponential. We're going to have the cubed root of n squared. So remember, the power of n is going to be the numerator, and the root is going to be the denominator. So this becomes n to the 2/3. The 4th root of x to the 5th. The 4 is the root, that's my denominator. The power is 5, that's my numerator. So I have x to the 5/4. The square root of z cubed. So again, we don't see the 2, but it is the square root, square coming from the power of 2. So my denominator is 2, and my numerator is the 3. The 5th root of 3. So the root is 5, so that's the denominator. The power, again, we don't see it, but it's a 1. So our numerator is a 1, and we get 3 to the 1 over 5. Okay, so make sure that you read through the section of the book and try out the homework, and let me know if you have any questions. Thanks.